Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. Did your parents ever give you money for good report cards? Well, the Columbus Municipal School District is trying that incentive for its schools and staff. Tonight, the district handed out nearly $200,000 to schools for improving their letter grades. Our Quentin Smith was there as the checks were handed out. Quentin, how did the educators say it feels to be recognized?
Scott, they're excited and say this is a sign of their commitments to their jobs. Now, even though they received some extra cash tonight, they say seeing their students succeed in the classroom is the ultimate goal. Celebrating academic success and achievements. And yes, a large amount of money was a part of the celebration, but not this kind of money, this kind. Just over $181,000 was awarded to personnel at 2 schools in the district. Staff and faculty at Columbus High School were rewarded for improving from a C to a B school.
It feels great, to see the hard work being paid off, our teachers in the classroom doing everything they can to help our students, knowing that our students perform well. The hard work from the teachers and the students, this is a reflection of it.
Stokes Beard Elementary School was also recognized from moving from an F to a B.
Just success. And I'm so honored that our district took the time and the efforts and pulled their resources to celebrate with the teachers their hard work. So just the success and feeling this warm reception tonight makes the job worthwhile.
This is a payoff for the district's Teacher Incentive Payment Plan, or TIP. TIP rewards schools that improve their letter grade from the previous school year.
Not only does it include for teachers and teacher assistants, but all staff throughout the school campus that happens to move their schools up. And next year, or in this school year, the incentive will kick in toward maintenance. So the schools that had a B for this year, if they maintain that B, will still get payouts next year. And those schools that come from different levels up to C, B, and A will get their own incentives next year, next December.
Sometimes education can be a thankless field, and incentives of being celebrated, especially monetarily, is a great way to tell people that you appreciate them and you value the work that they do.
Although it's the schools receiving the attention, teachers and administrators say none of the success would be possible if it wasn't for the hard work of the students.
Those are the winners. They are the winners for this. They are the ones that perform it. So we really want to do some things to celebrate them for their hard work because, again, without them performing in the classroom, none of this would be possible.
Now, the Teacher Incentive Payment Plan was first created back in 2018. This is the first time schools are able to receive incentives from that plan. To read more about the TIP plan, just visit our website at WCBI.com.
All right, Quentin, thank you very much. Also receiving money tonight were the math and science teachers in the district. All first-year and returning math and science teachers are receiving a $3,500 incentive for teaching in CMSD. District leaders say finding teachers in those fields is always a challenge, but hoping this incentive will help serve as a recruiting tool.
We are able to attract actually 15 teachers through this program. We were able to award 54 total teachers through this program, so it's a great opportunity for our district.
Just over $189,000 was given out to the math and science teachers in the district. A new administration takes office in Jackson come January. Courtney Ann Jackson caught up with Lieutenant Governor-elect Delbert Hosemann today. She has the latest on his priorities and how they'll impact you.
Delbert Hosemann is putting in the work before he's sworn in, meeting with all 52 senators and prepping for committee assignments.
I've got an agenda for transportation. I've got an agenda for health care. I've got an agenda for education, for public health, Medicaid.
He's been meeting with various groups and state agencies related to those to form the agendas. Among the issues he's ready to tackle, health care. Here's what Hosemann said regarding the controversial question of what will happen, if anything, with Medicaid expansion.
The appetite is for health care. We've been in consultation recently as last week with Arkansas about how they expanded, Indiana, Louisiana, and others on how they increase their availability of health care, some of which they stepped in ditches and they wish they hadn't.
Hosemann says he won't rush the decision and would first look at other options to improve affordability and accessibility of health care.
It's too big a decision to be made on the fly, and it won't just solely be made by me.
On the topic of teacher pay, the Southeastern average was a buzz phrase used by several candidates. Hosemann doesn't have a number he's targeting, but says,
why do we have to be average? Why can't we be above? When we get to a point that our teachers are not making an economic decision whether they teach or not, then I'll have gotten there.
On the issue of a gas tax, Hoseman says he's not in favor of a statewide gas tax, but would consider a local option tax that allows counties to vote whether they want to increase the tax that's earmarked for specific infrastructure projects. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Hoseman will be sworn in as the next lieutenant governor on January 9th.
Well, it feels like winter out there. The skies gradually clearing this evening. Those low clouds going away just like magic. And we are cooling down into the low 30s in most spots. Oxford 27, the wind chill. Very, very chilly in the 20s right now. The wind is relaxing, though, so the actual wind chill won't be too terribly bad compared to the actual air temperature. And we should all be in the mid to upper 20s tonight. For the next 3 days, for the Columbus area, and this is a really good proxy for everybody else here. Upper 40s to around 50 Wednesday. Lots of sunshine. 52 Thursday. Tons of sunshine. A few clouds mixed with some sun Friday. 54. We do have a chance for a few showers this weekend. We'll talk about the next system coming up.
Of the reported 14 tornadoes that touched down across Mississippi yesterday, one left its mark on Guntown. Dozens of homes were damaged or destroyed as winds reaching speeds of over 100 miles an hour swept through a normally quiet subdivision. Our Stephanie Poole has more on how residents and the town are coming together to begin the road to recovery.
It was the most shocking and terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. I have no words to describe what I'm feeling.
When the EF2 tornado ripped through Brad Pointer's home, it left nothing but debris and broken glass behind.
I was coming down the street. I got here about 2 minutes before it hit, and it was really, really gray, like dark and gray. So my stepson and I went into the bedroom where I have a walk-in closet, and about the time we got the door shut, it got really bad.
Pointer says that's when his world was turned upside down forever.
I heard like this huge booming sound, like a cannon going off, like really, really loud, like in the most intense sound I've ever heard. And then it got quiet. We step out of the closet about 2 minutes later, and we see the sky. I'm just like, are you serious?
Most neighbors are facing the same reality. LaQuisha and Emmanuel Miller says they were watching TV in their living room when the tornado struck.
My cousin texted me, she said, get in your safe place. And right then, when I grabbed my baby and we ran for the room, that's when our garage it was blown in.
Although the Millers don't have as much damage, they're still left to clean up shattered windows and a weather-worn roof.
We have water leaks everywhere.
Mayor Bud Herring hopes the road to recovery will be a smooth process over the next several weeks.
Our emergency team are out there assessing the damage and to see what we need to do, maybe to apply for state or federal assistance. Contacted by several agencies, churches, all up through the South that have crews that come out and will assist in that. And as soon as we get to that point, what's needed, I'm going to contact these people and see if we get them to help as well.
Meanwhile, neighbors are helping neighbors get through the first days.
I just think it's great that people are coming, from all over to help us. People have been stopping by, asking if we need anything, offering, food and places to stay. We've had a lot of people reach out to us and help.
And don't take life for granted, ever. It's here 1 minute, but it can be gone the next.
Now, if you're interested in donating to the families that were affected in Guntown, your donations can be dropped off at the Guntown City Hall Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, I think 4 tornadoes in our area.
Five now.
Actually.
Yes,
wow.
5 tornadoes here. I want to show you what we had. The first tornado there, Eastern Union County in EF1. There's the Guntown EF2. Another EF0 in area southeast and northeast of Guntown, and another one there in Prentice County near New Site, and then an EF1 in Tishomingo County. So 5 tornadoes yesterday. Not as active going into the Christmas holiday. We'll show you that forecast.
For WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Last week at this time, we had those big snowflakes falling. You were in that festive mood, thinking of a white Christmas. And these are the places that will tend to see a white Christmas. The higher odds, the farther north you live in the United States, also across the higher terrain of the Rockies and the Northeast. Down in the Deep South, it's about once in a blue moon for us to see a white Christmas down here. And at this point, I'm going to act as the Grinch. We have sunshine, some clouds, And 60s in the forecast for next week, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So your white Christmas will be all in your head this year. So sorry about that. We had some white clouds and gray clouds out there today. Our time lapse from Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Those low clouds really on the way out. And that's certainly good news for us for tomorrow. Bad news tonight because we will just see all of our heat, what little heat we had, go out in outer space as high pressure comes on in. And that just means we've lost a blanket of clouds and temperatures will cool down into the 20s. Wind chills about those temperatures tonight. Here's our planner for tomorrow. Jackets needed, obviously, in the morning. Very, very chilly, 20s. By noon, 45, pushing 50 in the afternoon, and then quickly cooling into the 30s once the sun goes down tomorrow. So 49 in Tupelo and Columbus, a shot at 50 in some spots like Eupora and Starkville, maybe 51 in Macon tomorrow. So pretty nice locally, low 50s closer to the coast. Mid-40s in Nashville, but a lot of sun across the deep south considering how active it has been. We will be rewarded with high pressure and tons of sun here for our day Wednesday and Thursday right here as high pressure builds on in. Now Friday we'll start to see some clouds around here. I think we stay dry. There will be a system though that gets organized down here in the Gulf of Mexico. This is actually going to go up the east coast, but we will be on the northwestern side of it, so we will include the chance for some showers and maybe even some steadier rain here. If this tracks back to the northwest, it could be a little bit of a wet weekend. If it goes southeast, we may not even see a lot of rain. I think the highest odds of rain, the heaviest totals just off to our southeast this weekend. But just have that in the back of your mind. There could be some rain around here as we go throughout the course of this weekend, the last weekend before Christmas. Have the umbrella ready to go, but no big system to really impact us. And as we get into next week, we talked about it, the sunshine, the 60s return for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
A survivor's memory and modern technology come together to help shed light on a nearly century-old mystery. We'll have that story when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Scientists believe they have found evidence of a mass grave in Oklahoma. It's believed to hold victims of one of the worst acts of racial violence in U.S. history, covered up for nearly a century. Omar Villafranca has more from Tulsa.
105-year-old Lassa Randall is one of the last known living survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre. She told Vernon AME church pastor Robert Turner she remembers seeing the bodies.
You see how you saw people on the ground and stuff?
Yeah, so quiet to get over there. Oh, how old I am, yes.
105.
Describe what this area looked like after the massacre.
It looked like an atomic bomb went off.
In 1921, a young black man was accused of assaulting a white teenage girl. A white mob torched roughly 35 blocks of homes and businesses. It's estimated that as many as 300 black residents were killed.
Along the fence line.
99 years later, it's still not known where all the bodies were buried. Last night, a possible clue was discovered. A committee commissioned by the city to look for mass graves found a 30 by 25-foot pit that could hold close to 100 victims. Pastor Turner says it's a small step on the long road to reconciliation.
It's been people, descendants of the survivors and even the survivors for decades fighting for this moment.
City leaders plan to continue scanning early next year. Now, if remains are found, black leaders want them brought back here to Vernon AME Church for a memorial.
'Tis the season for some basketball. Courtney has highlights from the hardwood when we come back.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
It's December, which pretty much means that it's all basketball all the time. Tipping off for us this evening for some high school action. The Itawamba AHS boys on the road taking on Tupelo. First quarter, Josh Mitchell misses the hook shot but tips it out to Braxton Bishop. Knocks down the three bucket. Tupelo up too early. Itawamba with the ball. Chandler Wood with the inbound ball to Caden Prestige on the wing. Hits the bucket. Indians trail by one. Still in the first, Hayes Halbert gets the steal. Hits Mitchell on the break, who goes up for the two-hand slam. Golden Wave lead 12-8. Indians ball before the first ends. Arvesta Troop with the catch and shoot three. Nothing but net. Itawamba takes a 1-point lead. Tupelo breaking away in the second quarter, though, and the Golden Wave come away with the big 69-26 win. Choctaw County boys facing Louisville. Wildcats D turning up the pressure early. The steal from the press. Clayton Murray finds a wide open Dre Shoemaker. The easy 2 bucket. Wildcats with an early lead. And adding on to it, Shoemaker driving with the vision to find Red Hibbler. Gets the layup to go. Choctaw County would finally get a bucket later in the first, breaking through the pressure. Israel Whitmore with the jump stop elevates just the short jumper to go. And right before the end of the first quarter, Junior Miller creating off the bounce finds Jared Bellew through the contact for the finish. The Wildcats top the Chargers 60-51. Running it back with the girls, Tupelo hosting Itawamba AHS. Fourth quarter, Lady Wave leading. Jeray McIntosh gets it to Shakina Jackson in the quarter, who knocks down the bucket. Later in the quarter, McIntosh with the outlet pass to Paris Lehman puts in the layup. The Wave up 62-21. Then off an Indian miss, Jackson with the one-man fast break to the basket. Golden Wave go on to get the win 64-26. Louisville taking on Choctaw County, the battle between 2 area dandy dozens. Second half, Lady Cats trailing. Coming up with the steal, Jalen Ingram finds Ariana Hunter to the hoop plus the harm. Louisville with an 8-0 run to take the lead. Back comes Choctaw County. Their dandy dozen, LaJennison Johnson in transition, pulls up, gets the deep 2, makes it a 2-possession ball game. And Hunter with the answer, showing off the handles, right to the cup for 2. Louisville keeps an 8-point lead, but Johnson again keeping the Lady Chargers in it. Drop step through the double team for the sweet left-hand finish. Hunter and the Lady Wildcats hang on to get the 50-43 win. Just last week, ICC guard Tabria Gandy hit the game winner that gave the Indians the 66-64 victory over Northwest Mississippi Community College. And as of today, Gandy has been named the MACJC Women's Basketball Player of the Week. Gandy shined all around in that matchup. The Starkville native finishing with a double-double, 22 points and 11 rebounds. She also had 5 assists and 2 steals. ICC head coach Robin Porter saying the honor is simply Gandy's hard work paying off. The Indians get back to action Saturday, January 4th against Volunteer State Community College. This year, 5 teams from the WCBI end zone viewing area ventured down south for state championships, later returning home as title winners. Those 5 including the Oxford Chargers, the West Point Green Wave, the Corinth Warriors, the Heritage Academy Patriots, and the Nanawoya Warriors. Well, now it's time to name one of them as our WCBI End Zone Team of the Year. And as the only undefeated team in Northeast Mississippi, the honor goes to the Heritage Academy Patriots. The Pats finishing a dominant 2019 season with the MAIS 5A state title, a perfect 14-0 record while outscoring opponents on average 39-8. The state championship marked the second ever in school history, led by head coach Sean Harrison and followed by a talented group of seniors featuring quarterback Carter Putt, who was named as the MAIS 5A Offensive Player of the Year. He threw for 2,520 yards, 31 touchdowns. And offensive and defensive lineman Eli Acker, who's also taking home the region's overall Player of the Year honor, Scott. But still, even though they took home our WCBI End Zone Team of the Year, all of those teams well deserving of that honor. Unfortunately, we got to pick one. So
yeah, it all comes down to one. But hey, it was a good football season this year. I mean,
my gosh,
really
it was
good.
a fantastic season. Can't wait for the next one.
All right, thanks, Courtney. Well, let's look at your forecast when we come back.
Finally, some sunshine Wednesday and Thursday. Still the chilly side, but hey, we will have that sunshine. The wind will be much lighter. It's a very wintry day today. More showers possible this weekend, and then the sun comes on back for early next week. That does include Christmas Eve next Tuesday, and then Christmas Day next Wednesday.
Now, how windy was it today? Because I was on my way to Webster County for a shoot today, and I felt like the wind was blowing me.
I think we had some gusts over 20. Not too bad, but it was just raw and nasty.
Just enough. Just enough to make you feel like you needed some hot cocoa. All right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.